Hi, this is Lynn. Today I would like to talk to you about the search functionality of PhilosScore. In previous videos, we have covered what the PhilosScore project is about. PhilosScore project is about basically matchmaking between organizers, volunteering organizations, and volunteers. Basically, if your organizations and if you're looking for volunteers, you should be able to come to this website and talk a little bit more about the organization, what you do, and you can post different engagements and activities where volunteer can register. And volunteers should be able to search for the engagements that they're interested in, and they should be able to search through them and sign up as needed. So I will walk you through some of these processes, and we'll also look into some of the backend systems, backend and code and services that we use to basically enable this search feature. Okay, so let's get into it. In the previous video, we have also covered, how you can sign in as a volunteer or an organization, and based on that, your navigation, some of the functionality of the website will change. So today, this is the web page here, and again, port 8080, which is a default port, and this is in the development environment. So first, let's say you are not logged into the web page, and you click on search. So this, apart from the home page, you would need the visitors will need to log in first to be able to access any other parts of the page, any other parts of the website. So here I am going to log in first as a volunteer. So I'm going to be signing in here. I'm signing in with Google. And it showed the volunteer profile, and it showed my volunteer email, which is philoscore123, because I've already previously logged in here. So what I wanted to show you is, by default, it's going to land on the volunteer profile page. But let's say I am a volunteer and I am looking to volunteer. In order to do that, I need to find out which organizations and which engagements that I'm interested in. So the first step I would do as a visitor is going to the search page. The search page will have information on, different things like, hey, which different organizations, some of the engagement activities that they have, and a little bit more information about each engagement. So let's explain a little bit more about what the engagement is. So engagement is the activities that volunteer organizations posted. Let's say Beautiful Pattern, which is the STEM for girls organization, and they have the engagement activity and event in Mexico. Then they're gonna post, hey, here's the engagement in Mexico, and the event will occur in May of 2018, for example. So that will be that information about that particular engagement. On the search page, you will be able to search based on with multiple information. For example, you can search based on the engagement type. Like, for example, if you're a volunteer interested in teaching or animals, saving animals, seniors, helping seniors, or people with disability, you care about the environment, you'll be able to filter the search based on some of the activity that you're interested in. Let's say if you're interested in teaching, you're going to have the opportunity to look at some of the teaching opportunities. Let's say you're interested in seniors, helping seniors, and then you can also filter as well. Engagement skill. So the type is sort of the type of engagement you're interested in. Skill is basically what organizations are looking for. For example, the STEM for girls event, the organization probably will look for somebody enjoys, who knows software programming, because they're going to be teaching girls STEM, and obviously somebody with the skill set like teaching is, right? Maybe if it is, helping build some of the amenities for the community, then maybe the engineering or maybe electrical engineering or some of the other skills would help. So it really depends on some of the skills that organizations are looking for. But of course, this is a volunteer opportunities. I'm sure there are multiple opportunities you have within even each engagement, each organization. You can also filter based on the organization. This is considered multifaceted search feature. So it's more of an advanced search, something that you would see in Amazon or Amazon or shopping, or if you go to Macy's shopping. you should be able to see like sort of a multiple dynamic search, and it's really sleek, a very fast response time. And you can also search based on the zip code. You can also just type in free text and search, say, I want to see anything in the 20171 zip code, for example. You may have to take out some of the filter here. This is save the animal. You can unselect it, and you will see some of the different feature. And let's say if you're looking for computer related, you can probably search for computer here, and you'll see the results are dynamic and full results found, and you can pretty much take a look at the results immediately. So there are multiple ways to search. One is obviously put in the information in the search, like a free form text search, or multifaceted search, which is on the left side here when you get to filter based on different criteria. One of the things that is an interesting things, of course, is once you're interested in any specific engagement or activity, you can click on the show details and it will take you to the detailed page, and there's a little bit more information about engagement and some of the things that you can do if you're interested, by showing an interest, or going back to the previous page. So that's, you can also rate and rank the engagement, but this is really once you pass that search page. Now let's go back to the search page, and I want to go over a little bit more about what's behind this functionality. So we're gonna go back to the code here. So search page is going to use a few things, right? Agolia search is sort of a framework that we use that enable multifaceted search. From the backend, we use Firebase database, and Firebase database has some limitation in the query. Even though it is very powerful, it's still some limitation when it comes to multifaceted search. So we are using Agolia search, and some of the other alternatives and other sort of a common industry standards are going to be Elasticsearch. That's also another Elasticsearch is the open source option. There are multiple sort of providers that host Elasticsearch. Google is one of them. Definitely AWS has AWS Elasticsearch as well. So those are some other options. But Agolia is also one of the options that is we're using the cloud service that hosts behind the scenes some of the search capabilities. So the way we would utilize that obviously is, we are searching on the engagement. So here we are going to make a call to the AIS, the Agolia service. You will have to create the Agolia API key, which will go into it a little bit more here. Agolia database framework is independent of the Firebase, but it works in conjunction with it. So here we are going to mention, hey, search for engagements, and there are different sort of we would call it a refinement list. Those are the things when we specifically want to mention engagement. Here, when we talk about engagement type, engagement skills, organization, and zip code, those are considered refinement list. So you can mention those as well specifically here. At the bottom, you are going to, not at the bottom, to the next site, you are going to mention the specific, you're going to loop through all the results based on the search criteria, and you're going to mention specific things about those particular engagements. So as you go into a little bit more here, what you'll also see is once you click on the specific organization, it will take you to the detailed organization page as we have demonstrated previously. And this is a code that does that, to take the specific path and passing that ID so that we can send the user to that specific engagement page that will show the information, the detailed information about the engagement. So that is the high level of it, and you can take a little bit more in the script where you will see some of the information about how we get the information about the volunteers and some of the engagement information to basically display. Okay. And we also have in view, when you say style scope, it means that this particular CSS style is specific to this page only. So it's not a global CSS, but it's scoped to this particular page. Okay, we won't go into the details, but what I want to cover is basically the Agolier. So Agolier is again the cloud service that you could use. What it does is it's basically store sort of an index, right? So that is what enables such a quick, very responsive search that you see that was demonstrated here. And the way you do is when you add when organization add their engagement activities, we not only save it in the Firebase database, but we also save it in the Agolia database as an index. And as you can see here, you can browse, all the information about the particular engagement that will allow you to do a very, very quick search. You can also pass the rules, for example, these particular variables, the features of the engagement should be able to display it. It's called faceting, so we talked about multifaceted search and defining some of these columns and some of these properties of each engagement object. We allow the visitors to search on the multiple dimensions of the particular information. So that's how you could set it up. And a Golier for the nonprofit organizations, there is a free version, but as we increase the bandwidth and number of records, there will be a pay version as well, but it's really allow some advanced search for your database. So another thing I would like to quickly show is basically Firebase. Before we go to the Firebase database, we would like to quickly show what we do, when you first add the engagement. So I'm not going to go into the details, but when you first add an engagement, like you're an organization and you're adding some of the activities, volunteering activities, so that the visitors and the volunteers can register, right? The moment the organization add an engagement, that particular functionality calls this feature here in the code. It's in the main.js. What it does is every time engagement changed, we are also going to reference Agolia, and we are going to pass this value. We call Agolia and add the engagement record every time the engagement was added or every time the engagement is changed. We are going to add that information to Agolia. That's how we make sure that Firebase and Agolia are synced up. So to conclude, I do want to quickly go over the Firebase database here. Okay. Log in and okay. In the Firebase database, I just want to quickly show you the data structure here of we talk about engagements, right? And you see how engagement data structure is in Agolia as an index, but I also want to quickly show you how it is in our main database, which is the Firebase database. So in here, we see these are the engagement, right? So each engagement has information about the address, engagement address, date, description, every details about this particular activity, volunteering activities. Of course, it's also tied to the engagement org. This is tied back to the organization because basically one organization can have multiple engagement, right? So that's what the relationship is. And as you can see in Firebase, engagement is a separate node from organization, but they are tied with the organization ID. So that's how engagement and organization. And in other videos, we went into more details about how, the engagement, how you create an organization profile and how you add engagement to that organization. So this is it. I know that's a little bit of information to cover, but we just want to cover, what the search feature, how it works, what are some of the things that behind the scenes. So I hope it helps, and thank you.